other words, I don't know what's going to happen whenever they get out in that crazy wind, but I do know what's going to happen if you stay on this boat, because God said we're going to make it. But don't get off this boat, because this is the center of God's will. This boat has a purpose. This is where the presence of God is. I would not try to escape this boat. And I think sometimes the reason why we don't have a fresh wind come in our life is because we still try to use the coping mechanisms of the wind of the world to heal us from whatever we're going through. It's like this. In 2020, in a year like this, we just try to sleep through it. We just try to make it through. We just try to get to things maybe are a little better, and then we'll deal with our anxiety. We try to escape the wind of this moment right now instead of letting God heal us in the middle of this. Instead of letting God raise faith up in the middle of this moment. Instead of letting us see what God could actually do if we stay placed where he has us. Do you ever think about the fact that God knew you when he formed you and he numbered your days? I say that because he knew you were going to be alive here. He knew you were going to be alive in 2020. The wind of the world is not shocking to him. It doesn't surprise him. He's like literally saying, yeah, this wind is bad. Your ship's not going to make it, but I have you. I have you in the palm of my hand. I have your days numbered. I have purpose for you. The rest of the world, this wind, it can touch everything around this boat. It can even touch this boat, but it cannot touch you because my presence is in you. So yes, things can happen. But if he's in you, he's sovereign. And that doesn't mean bad things won't happen to you, but it means his strength will be within you. Just like I said, when Paul's in this moment, bad things are happening to him, but he has strength. He has peace. He's not afraid. He has joy because he has hope. He knows God is there. He knows God is doing something. So I encourage you, let go whatever your lifeboat is. Let go of whatever your coping mechanism is, and let the Holy Spirit of God, the fresh wind of God, come and do something in you right where you're at, and just be obedient where you are. Just be obedient where you are. Keep going a little bit longer, and at this point, you really think nothing worse can happen, but it gets worse. Again, this really is so much like 2020, it's crazy. Now they're about to be shipwrecked. But it's crazy, right before their shipwreck, there was this last minute burst of hope from everybody. They actually thought they were gonna make it. It says, now when it was day, they did not recognize the land, but they noticed a bay on a beach, on which they planned, if possible, to run the ship ashore. So I just wanna point this out because at this point, although everything kind of went bad, they kind of had this turnaround point. They were actually, because what just happened, and I didn't read this part, but they all just got to eat before they threw the cargo over. They were all fed. Everybody was kind of fine. And then they see land, and they're like, you know what? I actually think we're going to make it. This is actually going to be great. And right when they see that, they cast the anchors and left them in the sea, at the same time loosening the ropes and tied the rudders. Then hoisting the foresail to the wind, they made way to the beach. So they're like, ahoy, we've made it. It's not that bad. We all survived. And then, boom, again, but striking a reef, they ran the vessel aground. The bow struck and remained immovable, and the stern was broken up by the surf. Right when they thought, we're going to make it. It's all going to be okay. They actually were shipwrecked. They couldn't move. They were absolutely stuck. And the soldiers' plan was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them swim away. Because remember, they are prisoners. So now the soldiers are like, what do we do? We're just going to have to kill them. But the centurion, wishing to save Paul, kept them from carrying out their plan. He ordered those who could swim to jump overboard first and make for land, and the rest on planks and pieces of the ship. I mean, isn't that a crazy thing to envision?